Good morning, Liberty.
I'm Heyman Wan.
And I'm Hannah Congo.
And welcome to our first LMS News Broadcast.
Recently, LMS students have taken the Scantron standardized test.
Here's Perry Malhotra with more on this story.
Scantron is coming up soon. I'm Perry Malhotra reporting for LMS News. Scantron consists of 3 tests, a reading, math, and science. Today, I'm going to be asking a few administrators on Scantron. So, Ms. Clayton, how do you think Scantron affects students?
Well, I think it affects students in some ways that they don't think about. Number one, I think it's probably a little stressful, first of all, because standardized testing is just kind of a different environment. So it's a little stressful to have to sit and take those kinds of tests. But for students, it's going to give them information that they need to see how they've grown throughout the year, because we're taking the test now in the fall, and we'll take it again in the spring, and they can compare and see how much they've learned over the year. It's also good practice for those tests that are really going to mean a lot to students when they're trying to get in college. So some of the kids may have heard things like ACT or SAT. So one day that's going to be really important for them. So that kind of practice and information getting ready for that's really going to be helpful.
And how do you think it affects teachers?
Well, it's stressful for teachers too, but of course that's not what we're looking for. And ultimately that's what this tool is for. Scantron is for us to be able to see if we are teaching the kids what they need to know, because we'll have this information from the fall and see the things that we need to concentrate on for different kids, and then make sure they get that information. And then in the spring when we test again, we can look at that data and make sure that we've done our job and the students are ready for their next grade.
Thank you. So, Dr. Stewart, how do you think Scantron affects students?
I think Scantron is a test that measures where students are in reading, math, and science. So basically, Scantron looks at where you are academically, and then in the springtime, we test where you are in the springtime. So what Scantron is looking at is how much growth did you make during your 6th, 7th, and 8th grade year. So Scantron shows whether you progressed academically or whether you regressed academically.
And how do you think it affects teachers?
Scantron is a good measuring tool for teachers to see how well they move their students. Ultimately, what teachers want to do is move students to the next level. You never want students to sit in your class and be at the same level they were in spring as they were when they came to you in August. So what we want to do is ensure that our students are growing each day academically.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Dr. Stewart and Ms. Clayton for answering a few questions about Scantron. Hope you learned some tips about Scantron. I know I did.
Thanks, Perry.
Scholars Bowl is one of the many electives you can take here at Liberty.
Here's Kristen Scala with more information.
I'm Kristen Scala, and today I will be talking to Ms. Haythcock and what it's all about. So what do you normally do in Scholars Bowl?
Scholars Bowl is our school's competition academic team. We're a lot like Trivia and Jeopardy kind of put together, and we go around across the state and just prove to everyone that we are the smartest and that we know the most and everything about math, science, history, literature, arts, current events, politics, everything.
And what's your favorite thing about competition?
My favorite thing about competition is seeing the kids get to really put into effect the things that they spend so much time studying for. And if that includes like winning by huge margins and being super proud of them and being able to celebrate them, or whether we meet good competition and really being able to learn from it and get tips on how to get better. It's just seeing the kids play is my favorite part.
And what is your favorite topic?
My favorite topic, of course, I'm an English teacher, so I'm a little bit biased towards literature, but I also love history, of course, and any of the current events and politics. Those are my favorite. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Haythcock, for taking the time to let me interview you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Last we have Would You Rather with Jack Willis.
I'm Jack Willis, reporting for LMS News. Today I went around the school and asked some students the Would You Rather question. Let's see what they have to say.
I'd rather paper cuts because then you don't have large whelps all over your body.
Paper cuts because they really don't hurt.
Paper cuts because bee stings last longer to heal.
Bee stings because paper cuts are annoying.
Bee stings because paper cuts hurt more.
Paper cuts because I'm allergic to bees.
Thank you to all the students I asked. Reporting for LMS News, I'm Jack Willis.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks for tuning in on our first broadcast.
Have a great day, Liberty!